morning fog lay thick over Willow Creek, curling around the fences like pale fingers as old Farmer Briggs trudged toward the cornfields with Rusty padding nervously behind him. Briggs wasn't expecting trouble. Scarecrows didn't just go missing. They'd stood in that same field for years, straw-filled guardians watching over the crops. But as Briggs approached, something felt off. The crows weren't cawing. The corn wasn't swaying. The field felt held still, like it was listening. When Briggs stepped into the first row, his breath caught in his chest. The Scarecrow, the one he de-stitched together with his own hands 20 summers ago, was slumped forward on its pole. Its straw-stuffed shirt hung loose, its arms drooping, its entire body twisted like it had been yanked sideways by something strong and angry. But that wasn't the worst part. The head was gone, not fallen, not rotted. Gone, the old sackcloth face, the stitched smile, the button eyes, ripped clean off the body as if torn away by claws and carried off into the night. Briggs whispered, "Who'd want the head of a scarecrow?" But Rusty knew something Briggs didn't. The dog's fur bristled. His nose lifted toward the forest beyond the field. And then, without waiting, Rusty bolted, tail low, body tense, running straight into the dark tree line. "Rusty, get back here!" Briggs shouted, but Rusty didn't slow. Briggs followed, pushing through the brush, the trees swallowing him whole. The deeper he went, the colder the air grew, unnaturally cold, like winter living inside the forest's lungs. Rusty's barks echoed ahead, sharp and frantic, guiding him through the maze of roots and twisting shadows. Then Briggs found him. Rusty was standing in a small clearing, paws planted, growling at something lying at the base of an old oak tree. Briggs raised his lantern, and there it was. The Scarecrow's missing head, but it wasn't just lying there. It was placed there carefully, intentionally, sitting upright, button eyes facing the forest as though watching something. The stitched smile had been torn wider, stretched into a warped grin, and the sackcloth was damp. With something dark, something that was not mud, Briggs knelt cautiously. "What in God's name?" Before he could finish, Rusty whimpered and scooted backward, tail tucked tight. His entire body trembled. Something behind the trees shifted, something big. Briggs froze. A shadow moved between the pines, tall, wrong-shaped, its limbs too long for any person. It stepped forward just enough for the lantern light to catch it. Then stepped back, staying just out of sight, as though studying them, watching them, waiting. Rusty growled, but it wasn't a brave growl. It was the kind dogs make when they know they're outmatched. Briggs slowly reached for the Scarecrow's head. The moment his fingers touched the burlap, a sound cracked through the forest. A laugh. Not human. Not even close. It was dry and hollow, like someone dragging a rake through dead leaves. And it came from everywhere at once. Above. Behind. Beneath the ground. Briggs jerked upright, clutching the Scarecrow head, scanning the trees. The laughter grew louder, bouncing between the trunks, circling them. Rusty barked, but the barks were swallowed by the forest, muffled as if the trees themselves were absorbing the sound. Then, silence. Total, crushing silence. The clearing grew colder. Briggs could see his own breath fogging in front of him. And then the shadows stepped forward again, just enough for Briggs to see its head. It wasn't a head. It was the empty, sagging sackcloth of the Scarecrow's stolen face, worn like a mask. Briggs stumbled back, dragging Rusty with him, heart pounding so loud it drowned out the whisper that slithered through the trees. "Give it back!" Briggs didn't wait. He didn't think. He turned and ran, dragging Rusty, crashing through the underbrush, branches snapping behind him as something gave chase, its steps too fast, too many, like it had more legs than anything natural. They burst out of the forest into the field, and for a moment, the world felt real again. The wind, the corn, the distant caw of crows. Briggs didn't look back. He didn't dare. He kept running until the barn door slammed shut behind him, and Rusty collapsed at his feet, exhausted and shaking. Clutching the Scarecrow's head, Briggs backed away from the window as the forest shivered in the wind. He knew one thing for certain. Whatever took the Scarecrow's head wasn't done with him yet.